episode of our live streams of Citizens Cosmos Odyssey. And today we have Stakin with us, one of, well, I would say like an older and a bigger validators in the Cosmos ecosystem. They validate not just the Cosmos ecosystem. In fact, they validate a lot of other chains, which I'm sure they will tell us all about today. I have with me three cool guests, which is not very often we see like a big team, but today we do. Del Rey, Giselle, and Edouard. Guys, I'm going to let you introduce yourselves one by one. Whoever wants to go first, please go first.
I can go first
Maybe
if you don't mind.
go for it.
Yay.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you for having us. I personally listened to the Citizen Cosmos podcast for a few months already. I like your content.
Yay.
So thank you for having us. And well, my name is I've been working for Stakin since January this year. I've been in the crypto space since early 2021. And what I do at Stakin is mainly content for our community, try to strengthen our relationship with our community members in the networks that we validate, and also um, strength or make a staking that we have. So what I do for that is content creation, like I said, YouTube, Twitter Spaces, but I also contribute with my time and energy in groups inside those networks, like ambassador programs, for example. So yeah, a little of everything.
Giselle or Edouard?
Maybe Giselle, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. No worries. So my name is Giselle. I'm the head of marketing at Staking, and I've been on this journey with Edward and the rest of the team since 2019, which has been a lot of fun. Yeah, so what do you do as a head of marketing? Well, all the standard stuff, a lot of strategy, a lot of planning, but also a lot of great ideas and brainstorming with Ray and everybody else. We love sharing ideas around at Staking, so I'm very lucky to be in the team, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
Great.
Last but not least.
Well, nice meeting you guys. I'm Edward. I'm co-founder and CEO at Stakin. I got started back in December 2018 with my other co-founder. Back then, the proof of stake ecosystem was still very nascent, and we wanted to support existing and upcoming protocols in that ecosystem. We've now been operating infrastructure for more than 3 years. We're an agnostic blockchain provider, but we do really love the Cosmos ecosystem, among others. I think we operate on about 35 blockchain networks, and a big chunk of these are Cosmos chains. Since early on, we've been supporting Cosmos, other Cosmos networks, such as IrisNet, Regen Network, Akash, Persistence. Nowadays, we're on Evmos, Kava, and many of the networks of the ecosystem. We have about 38,000 delegators, and also most of them are from that Cosmos ecosystem. Yeah.
That is very, very impressive numbers, guys. That is like, first of all, 2019. I guess you've been there since the very beginning, right?
Yeah, we took part in like early test nets of a lot of well, Cosmos networks or other layer ones for which we operate. But yeah, we took part, for example, in a game of Zones. I think it was already in 2020, where we were kind of testing IBC transactions among Cosmos chains. So kind of we're among the first ones to do some IBC transactions, and it was super fun and super exciting.
Giselle, I have a question for you. I'm gonna like single you out since you're the only lady here. Sorry.
No worries.
As a like head of marketing for, like you said, you've been with the beginning 2019, and Edouard mentioned 35,000 right delegators.
Yeah, it's quite a community, right?
How do you handle that? How do you first of all, let alone how do you handle it? How do you like get them to delegate to you? 35,000 people. That's not easy.
Well, I mean, we have a lot to thank to like the tech guys and the team behind the scenes that just making sure that the nodes operate. We are very lucky to say we have 99% uptime, so I cannot claim all the credits myself, definitely not. But initially, when we started, we really set in on like educating the ecosystem and helping out where we could. And so I think from there, we've really been able to connect with the community and grow as a validator while onboarding new people like Robert to help us and create even more content and just be in all these conversations. I think that's super important as well.
And anybody else wants to add anything to that? Del Rey or Edward?
Uh, yeah, I think just like Jesus said, we're quite dedicated to like both our institutional customer, but also like the community and individual token holders and delegators in general. Like we try to provide like the same kind of service to both, smaller delegators or big delegators, no matter how much they stake. Try to be helpful, to guide them, to educate them on both what is staking, how to stake, what are the risks, uh, how to do it in a secure manner, how to manage your portfolio of staked assets, and all these questions, but also like educate them on the networks themselves. What is Cosmos? What are the chains in the Cosmos ecosystem? What can you do with this blockchain versus the others? What are the dApps built on top of them? So we have a lot of content that we publish. We actually also give crypto classes. We have Andres among our team members who teaches to the next generation of crypto users what crypto is about. We have a podcast, newsletter, Twitter Spaces. We organize like a lot of activities around always trying to help the community help them navigate through governance. But yeah, maybe Del Rey, you can say a few words on this as well, because it's definitely also the Del Rey is our head of the Cosmos ecosystem and is doing amazing job in that space.
What do you find? I'm gonna help you a little bit out, Del Rey, if you don't mind. Like out of the things that Eduard mentioned, you mentioned the podcast, the newsletter, teaching classes, Twitter Spaces. Out of all these instruments, what's in your opinion works much better to become one, shall we say, with the community and to get them to follow staking?
Well, I'm really happy you asked. What can I say? We try to be there for our delegators in all the possible ways and platform. But if you ask me what I think is the most powerful, I guess it's engaging with the people in the group chats like Telegram and Discord. I'm always on top saying my GMs every day. Uh, But besides the GMs, I also engage in governance discussions, right? When it's a new proposal or when it's a new threat on Commonwealth, I try to review it, read over it together with the team. We come up with an opinion, right? And then we go to the discourse and the other channels just to say what we have to say. We try to represent what our delegators feel, right? But we're also open other points of view and stuff. And I believe that kind of involvement has helped us in establishing maybe our presence in the networks that we are. Great question.
And I'm gonna ask you another question, if you don't mind me like asking this. It's gonna be a little bit from your background, which I kind of stole of the website, of course. But being an ex-banker and working for the banking industry before is what it says, right? It's a big change because in the banking industry, you don't have classes on fiat economy. They don't have podcasts, in my local branch. Not at least I haven't heard of them.
They're boring.
Yeah. So like, exactly. How is that like? How like you went from there to that? Like, how did it work for you?
Well, I'm very happy you ask. What can I say? I work for that bank. It's one of the biggest bank in my country. It's a very global bank as well. And I was working mainly back office, right? I wasn't like directly in touch with the customers. So I was able to get like a glimpse on how the bank operated behind the scenes, right? And there are some people, something I didn't like was that if you live in a certain area, or if you have this background, or if you have traveled to X country, we cannot offer you services. And I hated that, bro. For me, that's super exclusive. So I guess finance should be for everybody. I studied crypto looking for investment opportunities. I came across Bitcoin, then I came across Cosmos and other communities that I won't say now. And I saw how the people was like in technology. They wanted to do things themselves. How DeFi help people to get better deals. How DeFi help people to transfer money without asking your name, your race, where you come from. And that kind of liberty and empowerment really got me like hooked in what was crypto about. I immediately forgot about the money and the investment opportunity and got myself submerged in the communities, bro. It come to a point that I quit my bank because I couldn't work at the bank anymore, man. So yeah, that's it. A very short story, but yeah, hope that answers your question.
It does, and I have a lot of more questions to follow. But I know because Edouard said he's gonna run in 15 minutes, so I know I'm gonna like target him a little bit more before I target both of you guys.
Go
Like,
for it. Go for it. Throw
I,
them.
I wanna know. Like, you've been in the industry like again since 2019. You built a validator, so you kind of understood that this is gonna be. Well, you had to have a feeling, some intuition that's what's the next big thing or a big thing that's gonna happen, and you want to be a part of it. But how did you get into crypto in general? I mean, where did you start? You suddenly didn't wake up and said, "I want to be a validator." You know,
It's gonna be the same boring story of the
ah,
banker. I'm sorry, we just went through it. Yeah, no, I'm going to tell you a secret. That is not a secret, but I also used to work in traditional finance before catching the blockchain virus, and I mean that's kind of what led me to it. I was like in this boring banking office, and was I think back in 2017 or so, and I was seeing, all the possibilities with like Ethereum, smart contracts, DeFi was starting to emerge, and I was like, oh man, I gotta build like next generation of financial products. Like I'm not building it here. Here you know, it's not happening in this framework where I'm currently working. So I kind of left the banking, traditional banking to get started and build. First, it was to build financial products and like on smart contracts and on Ethereum, and then I got passionate with like proof of stake and staking, and yeah, that's kind of what led me to staking.
I'm gonna say a small secret. Almost nobody knows it, but about nice, nice product placement. But about 12 years ago, I also worked for 4 months in a bank, but it's a secret nobody knows. Now people know about it, but let's not tell anyone about it. But wait, I have one more question to follow up then to Edouard because you still have like 10 minutes or so. But did like one of the main reasons we wanted to do this, let's call them profiles or like chats with the team and to see like, is not just for people to find out about you, like in general, but to me, and I guess to a lot of people in the space, blockchains can be seen as like some people say digital nations, and then
Mhm.
validators, they're like big businesses inside of those nations that do something, and now they've become very powerful. And at least me as a delegator, not as a validator but just as a normal like user, let's so to speak, I would love to know who I'm delegating to. Are they building an atomic bomb with the money they're earning? Are they putting it
Maybe.
you see, there we go, there we go.
Gotta
So
defend ourselves.
no atomic bombs, no. So no, the question is like, what was, when you started out, what was the motivation and the intention to change finance? Yeah, okay, but that's like super powerful words, very abstract. What is there a more specific things that you can say, okay, this is what is taken about, this is our goal, our, so to say, goal in the next 2 or 3 5 years? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but Go for it.
I think we're about providing like secure and reliable infrastructure, a bit like the others, non-custodial staking service provider in a way. But then we have our own source. We very active with the community and education. We're active in governance. We provide custom services then for some of our institutional customers that they appreciate. We have a dashboard on the new project we just released on dashboard.staking.com that anybody can go add all their cryptos, and we support like all the Cosmos networks, and we're completely agnostic whether you stake with us or whether you don't stake with us. You add your wallet, you can track your portfolio across like all of these networks, how much you're staking, how much you're earning, and also across non-Cosmos networks, whether or not you're staking with us. We have a good track record, and we keep on, supporting new upcoming networks and new features of the Cosmos ecosystem. Planning to get involved in the next upcoming testnet. We have a few networks that we're testing right now on liquid staking, like Quicksilver, on trading, like SE network. Yep.
Giselle, did you want to add something to that? Because I saw that like you did twitch a little bit. I did see something. No.
No. I wanted to add something about the dashboard, but then Edward mentioned it already, so it's all good. Just made sure he did the right promo,
But I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Edward did mention institutional customers, and also you guys are non-custodial servers. So as a marketing specialist, how do you find those two things to work together, non-custodial and institutional? Like, how do you make it work?
Well, I guess the good hook on that side is always that you maintain control over whatever is yours, regardless of like what we do, and I think that's something that's super attractive for, well, not even institutions per se, but everyone. Like, do you not want to be in control over your own funds while earning on them, and while keeping your eye out on all the opportunities that are out there? So I think that's the biggest hook, and for me, I think that's also one of the things that made me want to work with staking. So that helps a lot. I'm not a big fan of custodials, to be honest. So I think that the non-custodial part is what makes us more trustworthy. Like, we're not here to just take your stuff and run away with it. Like, we are here to help and support, and I think that's, yeah.
Help you be in control of your own money.
Yes.
Help you to build the atomic bomb. No, I'm joking.
Who knows? But it's not up to us.
No, but it's cool. It's just like, a lot of the times, like personally, I've the bureaucracy that some of the institutionals have is like such a big aspect for them that when they hear the words non-custodial, they're like, oh my God, these guys are like dodgy hackers from the dark net that buy whatever they buy with their bitcoins, and they probably gonna like hack our computers. And you don't get that kind of silly responses. No, it's gone already by 2022, or this was like a thing of the past, maybe from 5 years ago.
I'd say this is gone.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I don't notice it anymore that much. I think when I started in blockchain, definitely there was more skepticism, but I think that over time, like now we also have a 3-year track record. Like, we're still here. We're registered. We have all the official, how do you say, like diplomas and everything that you need. So, go ahead. Sorry, Edward. Do you want to say anything?
No, I was thinking about a comment that one of our delegators sent in the chat. I think it was like a few weeks ago. He said, "I appreciate that you guys are all doxxed and you reveal your public identities." Like, I'm staking with you because you're all doxxed.
I'm sorry.
Great.
I'm sorry if it sounded like a question like about you. I didn't mean like you, but like I meant like in general. Like the institutionals, they're like, oh my god, these guys in the blockchain space, they want to like steal all our dollars and stay. It wasn't like about staking as a provider. No, 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 no.
It's
Sorry,
true,
sorry
but I
about it.
mean, back then they were still like, they really learned a lot about like the market and the opportunities and what is blockchain. And back then they were probably more like invested solely in Bitcoin for speculation reasons, or because some of their investors were pushing for it. And now they've all started building their own like crypto portfolio. Sometimes top 10 market cap, top 100. Some are very invested in some like ecosystems, lots of hedge funds around, taking sometimes long-term views on some crypto assets. It has really matured from an institutional point of view. And now, before, when they would hear staking, maybe they would hear, oh, what is this? Free money, free yield, risk-free rates, not possible. This non-custodial, how do you do? They wouldn't understand that, that we're talking about like what's powering the consensus, and that's how these blockchains are built, and these are incentives for you to secure the network. And now they seem to come to an understanding, and they take a look, and they're like, yeah, definitely got a stake. It's the risk-free rate. There's obviously slashing risks, but in many cases, I'd rather stake my coin than lend them to some like counterparty that we never know, right? Even if it's an over-collateralized loan, there's probably a smart contract risk or something else. I'd rather take the staking route to generate my yield and contribute to the network, right? Get involved in governance, secure it.
Yeah, and again, before I'm gonna ask you another question, Edouard. Before you run off, since it's been like 2019, what is it, 3-4 years? Could you share an advice that you would say to somebody that wants to start a validator like today, and
Sure.
say to them, I've been on this journey, guys, for 4 years. Don't do that, or do that, something like that.
I would say do it, right? Just do it. It's about decentralization, right?
But
And
what would you suggest specifically, like, to avoid doing? Like, like, let's say, for example, I don't know.
Launching on mainnet immediately, maybe get started on testnet. There are responsibilities here at play.
Okay.
There are risks, slashing risks. It's about uptime. It's about security. Probably you want to play. I'd say get started on a testnet. Maybe join an incentivized testnet. Have fun, push yourself. Great opportunity to learn. It's more unstable than mainnet, so there's like lots of work to do, lots of things to test, to break, and see if you like it. Because it's for a solo show, it's actually a lot of work, right? Especially that person is gonna have so much responsibility if they're by themselves that it's gonna be 24/7 work. And there are a few like solo validators out there in the space. I think they're important. They contribute to decentralization, but it's a lot of pressure on themselves, right? There's less teammates to work on different components, of the validator, or provide redundancy, or be around when the person's sleeping, this kind of stuff, because it's really 24/7.
Would you say that kind of is the get your hands dirty? That's kind of the advice,
Yeah, get your hands dirty.
Gisele, what
Yeah.
about you? What would be your advice? Like, since again, you also been there since the beginning, so.
I guess it's, if you're in blockchain, I think that's not just if you want to be a validator, but for anybody, you really have to love it, because otherwise it's a very time consuming business to be in. And so if you're not a real big fan of blockchain itself and the technology and the people, then probably choose something else, because it will be too much, and you don't want to dedicate that much time to it. But yeah.
How do you guys, if you don't mind me asking, it's a bit of a private question, I guess, but how do you guys build up the portfolio of the staking networks? How do you decide on which network you're gonna contribute to next and become a validator
But
of?
it's mix of both. Sometimes, we have existing clients who want us to launch on a new network or on an upcoming network and take a look at it. Or ourselves, we start, getting interested into an upcoming network or an existing one, because we think there's a great tech, there's a great team, great project that it adds kind of value to the ecosystem and to the industry, and we're like, oh, like we want to support this one, and we hope we'll get delegations. Sometimes we don't necessarily attract a lot of delegations at first on when we launch a new protocol, but we're happy to support it and to support it with kind of a long-term view, right? Because that's the goal also when we support the protocol. Usually, is not to discontinue it within a few weeks, but to kind of support it for the next few years.
In terms of parameters, are there any particular parameters that a network has to have, like, let's say, certain market cap for you, or it has to have a certain, like, I don't know, code of conduct or whatever, or that you guys say, okay, I will not support a network that does this, or we will definitely support networks that do that?
We don't have an exact like framework with like metrics and codes that we just take like a general view at the network. I think there are probably like some red flags sometimes, like we get a lot of inbound requests from early network or from some existing networks, and sometimes there are a few red flags and we decide not to support them, but we're quite open-minded in general.
And I don't know what you said. You have to run off in half an hour, so I don't know if you still have to run off or not. But I will just tell me, like, give me, hey, I have to run off.
Yeah, I'll go in a few minutes. Yeah, but
Okay,
if you have, let me know. Do you have
Okay.
another question? Something I can
Oh,
answer?
I have a lot of questions. Believe me, I can ask them till tomorrow. So it's just a matter of your time, guys. But the next question I did have is, I guess it's for both you and Gisele, since Del Rey unfortunately fell off. But the question was about the ventures. I did notice on the website that you guys also do investment in ventures, and I'm curious as to why you guys decided to do it as a validator. And how does it work for you? What do you do? Who do you look for? Could it be anybody who listens to this video and recording, for example, who would say, hey, I want to go to you guys and apply?
Yeah, no, we're super open to invest in opportunities. Usually, we invest in networks, so not like dApps, or we invest in network projects. Can be like chains on the Cosmos, can be other type of networks, and yeah, likewise, there's no like specific framework. We like to invest early, so more like seed stage, but like in tokens only. And yeah, we invest up to, I'd say, up to $100,000 in projects. So if anybody's listening and maybe they're building something exciting in the Cosmos ecosystem, they can definitely reach out to us, and we can take a look at the opportunity from an investment perspective, but maybe also we can help them navigate the Cosmos, or why not help them structure a testnet program for validators and all this kind of stuff. I think you're on mute.
It was me. Yeah, it was me on mute. Sorry, I was saying. Does Gisele want to add anything to what Edouard was saying about the investments? Or
No, not really. I think he said it all on that side. I mean, he knows better than me when it comes to this one. So
yeah, it's we're not like a VC. It's company treasury that we invest in a few selected opportunities every year, and yeah, it's decided and handled by the co-founders so far.
but I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting for people who delegate to you to know that, like, oh, this is where portion of the money is going, and like of that you earn, and that you're actually doing something good with it and letting other have the opportunities to build things. And to me, for example, as a delegator, that would be like a green flag, saying, hey, those guys share their wealth and help others to build their dreams. It's like, hey, cool. I kind of look at it like that. I don't know if everybody looks at it like that, of course, but that's my thinking. Del Rey, what's since you validate
I'll
such a
have to
huge...
jump.
Oh, sorry,
I'll
Eduardo.
leave
Yeah.
you here, guys.
Yes.
Thanks for welcoming me,
Thanks,
and
Eduardo.
you're in great hands with Giselle and Delray.
Yay. Thanks, Eduardo.
See
Speak
you
soon.
soon.
Nice to
See you.
meet you. Ciao.
Uh,
Delray, the question was this: since you guys validate such a huge amount of different networks, is there? I know it's a bit of a tough question. It sounds like devil's advocate questions, which a little bit it is.
bring it on, bring it on.
What is the most difficult chain to work with in terms of governance and community, where it just doesn't flow, where it's like something you have to like really, really push on?
Wow, that's a great question. What
I
can I
said it's
say?
gonna be devil's advocate question. I did warn you. You don't
What can
have
I
to
say?
answer.
I
You
mean,
could say that you don't want to answer. It's okay.
uh, um, I'm a cosmonaut at heart, right? I love the cosmos ecosystem, man, and what it has to offer. To different people around it, right? Uh, and yeah, we are very big on Cosmos. We are over 20 networks in the Cosmos ecosystem, so there are many different communities, different people, different ways of thinking and do things, right? So uh, one of the networks that I find the most challenging to interact with, I must say, is gotta be Terra, bro. Terra and Terra 2.0. Uh, it's because of the community itself, right? Most of the community in the Cosmos ecosystem like to investigate things, to propose new things, to update the code, make it better, right? But the guys at Luna, please forgive me for what I'm going to say. After the collapse, the guys of Luna just have been focusing on the price and doing like burning mechanism to make the price pump. And it's hard, man, because you want to contribute with educational quality articles, pieces, right? But those guys, they just don't look there. They just want the price to pump. I have a funny story on that. I remember I did this article on Terra 2.0. What's the future gonna look like, or something like that. I did that in coordination with Gisele. Really cool stuff. It's on our blog. Um, and well, I was about to give the final touches to the article, and Gisele, as she is always, she told me, you know what? I believe you should go ahead with this almost finished article and ask on the Terra community what they think and if they have any feedback so we can add it to the article. For me, that made sense. So let me go ahead and do just that. So I went to their group and I how's the Terra future gonna look like? Let me know your thoughts. And the only comment I got was something like, my dude, what you doing? Just buy Terra and win Lambo or something like that. And I was like, no, you said we can work with these guys. We're happy to validate. We're very consistent in our blog, in our infra, right? But personally, it's been hard interacting with those guys. I believe their focus right now is not in line with the focus of the Cosmos ecosystem as a whole. And as a cosmonaut, I'm down with the latter asset, with the Cosmos ecosystem as a whole. Many different networks, right? And we're suffering and we work in different ways. But still, we are also working for the future, on the future of our ecosystem, and we gotta contribute together in that. So if you are too focused on the price, you cannot focus on something else, and that's my opinion. So, yeah.
I think I can relate. I think a lot of validators who have definitely in the Cosmos ecosystem, especially who have suffered from having some money or whatever funds in UST, have just went on and kept on like doing their things, ignoring all that, and saying, oh, screw the money, we don't. Yeah, it's painful, but hey, that's life. Life doesn't stop. Let's keep on building. And it's great to hear that you're saying exactly the same things. I think it's really
Yeah,
cool.
and if you let me add to that, still we validate on
Please.
Terra, we participate in the governance proposals, right? The Terra people still very engaged in governance, right? They send us lots of emails about governance. Hey, can you vote on this proposal? Can you vote on this proposal, right? We try to drive those to our Discord so we can have a better conversation there. And we validate in the two networks, right? There's still much love to them. We're happy to validate on Terra and the governance. But yeah, I believe the focus should change, and that's what I have to say about it.
Thanks for the honest answer. I guess that's very important to hear things like that, because that, well, helps me, at least again as somebody who's in Cosmos, to understand what some of the bigger validators think. Giselle, I have a question for you, which kind of continues with what I was asking Edouard. What would be, I mean, let me go from a different place. As a lot of people who start validators and let's say go out from the solo already, and they understand, okay, I do want to do it. I know, for example, we went through this, and we're still going in a sense through what I'm going to ask you. um you finish the solo kind of testing period, and you're already ready for the mainnet. You know that you can handle running a node. Then you understand that we can do more. Then you start to get a team, and then you start to participate, do all the things that Del Rey said, participate in governance, participate in community. And then you get stuck, because usually with the smaller validators, unless you have cool connections to institutions or to a lot of retail or whatever, you don't know how to market yourself. You don't understand how to advertise yourself apart from within the communities, which is, of course, Del Rey already mentioned the most important, probably, piece of advertising. But that aside for a second,
Yeah.
what would you suggest as a marketer? Can I use that marketing
Yeah, sure.
specialist? Sorry, for people who starting not already solo validators, but already like small companies or bigger companies, to do what, where to look for customers, how to make themselves known apart from the communities, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So I think one of the main challenges that we have as validators, trying to market to the retail side of blockchain, is that we don't know who these people are. I mean, we have our guesses and we have our estimates and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, blockchain is anonymous for the biggest part. And that's what makes it amazing as well. So we want to keep that respect and try not to gather too much data and stuff as well. But from a marketing perspective, that does make it a little bit more tricky. So there's a couple of things that I'd recommend. First of all, definitely have a lot of patience. So this is, I mean, I think it's something that is not just for blockchain, but in general. People think that marketing is a quick fix, but that's just not how it works. So, for example, when we were building out our blogging platform, it took about 6 months to get from 50 people to 100,000 a month. So don't give up. That's probably one of the biggest ones. Just don't give up. Keep going. Prove yourself in the sense that if you're doing a great job, if you're having the technology and you're working hard on maintaining all of that, keep telling everyone that you're doing this, and don't give up. Just keep pushing. At some point someone will pick it up and you will receive that connection. Definitely it's a bit of luck in there as well, whether that will be happening like within the first couple of months or maybe a little bit later on. This obviously it can be tricky, but it will happen eventually, definitely. And then when it comes to marketing, the blockchain space is super super volatile. It switches a lot. It's crazy. It's like a crazy roller coaster ride that we're all on together, right? So keep breathing, calm down. Everything will be fine. Think of a plan, even though it can be tricky. Think of a plan for the next like 6 months. Where do you want to go? What kind of direction you want to go in? And start working towards that. Reach out to everyone, DM them, try and call them. Don't be afraid. Try and reach out to the bigger validators like us. I mean, we're always happy to help. We're happy to have you on board. In our social medias, anything like that. It's not we're community, and I think overall, even though we're kind of competition, we're also friends, and we're all here to make a living and to expand this ecosystem. So I think don't be afraid to reach out and be patient also a little bit.
I like the patience things. Definitely, that's something in blockchain is one of the most valuable probably advices. Patience. Would you say something to avoid for sure? Like, guys, don't do that.
um, well, I guess what everybody mentioned, right? Don't go crazy on the price. It's
Don't
not the most
crazy on the
important
price.
thing.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear ya. Del Rey from. Sorry, you're gonna add something, Del Rey.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to the last to what to avoid, right? Be very careful. I mean, we are, like you just say, we're very open to chat and connect with anybody in the ecosystem, right? But at the same time, you gotta be careful who you connect with and whose information, whose profile you share. Like, delegators are looking up to you, right? So you gotta make sure that the information you put out is accurate, is legit, and it's not gonna make them waste time or money. I just wanted to say that. You can go with the question now.
No. I was looking at my notes of the questions that I wanted to ask you because sometimes I look in the right and I think, I forgot to ask this, guys. I forgot to ask that. No, I was gonna ask you actually about Cosmoverse because at the beginning, before we started to record, for the listeners out there, you guys mentioned that you were in Colombia. And
Yes.
how was Cosmoverse? Do you want to share the for you? I mean, for Staking specifically, what did you guys do? How was the experience, the feeling, everything you want to share?
Well, I'm more than happy to talk about customers.
I can see. you
Yeah,
look,
so,
you look, you look, you look like it was. Yeah, damn, it was great.
yeah, so about Cosmoverse, I should have this pen that they gave out in the Cosmoverse. They gave out many stickers. Uh, First of all, thank you, Crypto Seat and all the people that put that event out. They definitely hit it out of the park, man. I actually did a Reddit post saying that the Cosmoverse investment was paid off on the first day. Anything else is an extra. And people agreed a lot with that. What can I say? On the staking side, we come up with a few dynamics. We did giveaways for delegators. Uh, we met them, we took pictures with them, we gave them some staking merch, we gave them t-shirts, hats, stickers, and it felt really good getting to meet the people that trust you and delegate to you, right? There were many of those at the event, which was great. On the other side, man, there were lots of people at the event. It was crazy the amount of people that was in there. For me, it was my first crypto conference ever. I was really excited, but also super focused at the event. Wanted to get like the best out of it, and I did. Man, I listened to talks. I did lots of connections. It was great meeting people that you see on Twitter every day, that you see on YouTube doing spaces, whatever. You see all those people grinding, right? And then you can meet those persons. Sorry, you can meet those people in person, right? It's really powerful, man. Something I was thinking by the last day of the event is that interactions are gonna feel different now because we spent 3 days together chatting, eating together, then having parties together, sharing ideas, making collaborations, right? And man, I was so pumped. Wow, felt amazing. By the end of the event, I was so emotional that I almost cried, bro. It was amazing. I was also kind of sad that the event was also almost over, but lots of good stuff are gonna come out of the Cosmoverse. That's what I can tell you. We got lots of content in the backlog, so people can stay tuned for that. Other new connections that we want to collaborate about. Also, older connections that we kind of re-meet or re-met again. Yeah, I don't know. The Cosmo future looks so bright, man. The community, it's crazy. I actually uploaded a video clip about why Cosmos, right? And the majority of the people were like, "Oh, it's the community, it's the people, it's the passion," and that's something you almost don't see in any other ecosystem. So I can say that I'm very lucky that I work for Stakin. I'm also very lucky that I am in charge of the Cosmos ecosystem, which I'm very passionate about, right? And I'm very happy that I went to the Cosmoverse, man. It was amazing. I will be definitely going next year. And if you didn't go to the previous Cosmoverse, look to the stream that they recorded everything. Look the streams and are making your back so you can go to the next Cosmoverse. That's all I can say.
How was the after party? I have to ask. How was the after party?
Oh man, it was wild. I mean, well, okay. So we have 3 days event, right? But we had after parties all the days. So the event was early. The event started like at 8 a.m. Right? So you couldn't like have much fun on the after party, right? Because you got to work on the next day. So I got to remind myself that I was working there, right? So I didn't have like I did have fun, speak with people, right? Dance, and yeah, I didn't drink a lot. However, the last day on day three,
Bam, bam,
I realized,
bam.
yeah, here I come. I realized that hey, this is the last day and this is the last party. Tomorrow I don't have to do anything, so it's resting day. And that party, man, was crazy. It was wild. I still met people there. I was dancing with the people from Juno and other projects, and yeah, I mean, I dance a lot. I actually dance like I was a maniac, bro, because I feel like I deserve that party, and yeah, for me that one was the best one, the last one, because I didn't have to wake up earlier the next day, right? But very cool,
I
bro.
love it. I love it. I love it. I don't know if you know, Citizen Cosmos was the sponsor of the after party. We were the one sponsor of the after party together with Bostrom, and it was a big pleasure to put something together with Crypto Cito and the guys, because we also were the first ever sponsored of the first Cosmoverse last year, and then we really wanted to engage in this as well, and unfortunately we couldn't come. So that's why I'm asking people, how was the after party? Did you drink good for us? You know, it was, yeah. And they were like,
It was
yeah, we
really
had
good,
a
bro. It
drink. And I
was
was like,
really good.
okay, at least somebody was happy.
The
So,
people, the venue was great
and
because it was at this rooftop, right, and you could see like the whole city. It was open bar, so everybody had drinks. Yeah, bro, no complaints. I don't know, man. If you went to the Cosmoverse and lived the whole experience, and you have something bad to say about it, I believe you have to do some internet checking because that event something else. And yeah, enough about
brilliant,
Cosmoverse.
brilliant, guys. I love it. No, it's fantastic. I think like it is like one of the big events that it is probably the biggest event that Cosmos had. So I think it's great to hear what validators think about it. Guys, I have one, so to say.
It was awesome.
Oh, sorry, Del Rey. Sorry, go on. Oh, you were just
No,
saying it was awesome. Sorry.
I was trying to
The
mute
sound went
myself.
a
That's
little
it.
bit. No need for that. You're supposed to speak. Well, wait a second. No. I was saying no. One last question to resume for both of you guys. It's the kind of question that I try to ask everybody, whether they're validators or projects. And in my opinion, it's very relevant to you. You guys seem super passionate about what you do. You can tell, and you seem very involved in that. And the question is, what motivates each one of you, by whoever wants to answer first, to get out of bed every day and keep on building, keep on doing, keep on achieving results, keep on engaging with the community, or going to market to new stakers, or what keeps you motivated to do all that work?
Ladies first.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I mean, when it comes to like getting out of bed, now that it's getting colder here in Northern Europe, I mean, it's getting tougher. But what motivates me mostly to keep on being in this phase and keep on putting all my effort towards this, I think for me, it's mostly the promise of the underlying technology that blockchain has, and also just the team that we have been building together. It's been a crazy ride, and I've had an amazing amount of opportunities here with staking and within blockchain that I don't believe I would have gotten in a more traditional, ecosystem or space, however you want to call it. So I'm very grateful for that, and that definitely helps me to want to give that opportunity to other people as well, and to keep growing together.
Del Rey? I guess we have a small sound
Yeah,
pause.
it's in line with what you said. It's actually funny because delay. Can you hear me right?
We can
Okay,
hear
so
you.
something's happening with the connection. Ah, you can hear me? Okay, I can't hear you. So maybe that's bad because I see this guy laughing, right? But I can hear him. Okay. So I go again. It's in line with what Gisele says, right? It's what crypto will enable people to do. I believe we're actually living a revolution. I'm not old enough to live the internet, right? How the internet came out and how we connected the world because it's globalized the information, right? I didn't see that, but now I can see crypto and how crypto can help us have a money in the internet, have protocols that help us contribute with each other in ways that we haven't even imagined yet. So on top of that, you add that you can interact with many different people from around the world, just as easy as sending a message on this. Bro. I mean, I'm not the most like extrovert guy that is talking around with everybody, right? But it's so easy chatting and speaking and meeting new people on the internet. That is crazy. So the majority of the people that you meet on Cosmos, and I'm talking about Cosmos because it's the one that I'm most involved with, uh, their focus is building. We're building the future economies. We're building the future politics system, right? And yeah, that excites me. It excites me a lot.
There is something I that resonances a lot with me, and I think that it's very cool that to put those things together. You know, the success and the change in the world, putting those together. What Gisele is saying, what you're saying, and I would love to hear Eduard's answer there as well. But I'm sure that his would be combining like yours too, or something along the same lines. Guys, it's been a huge pleasure having you on. Hopefully we get to talk again in the future. Thanks very much for finding the time to come on and tell all about staking.
Definitely. Thanks for having us. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you for having us,
Thanks.
man. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, guys. You too. Thank you, and have a good day or good night, depending on where you are.
Thank you.
Totally. Likewise.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Ciao.